telling them to come home? How do you charge for people to come home? Why are you asking for the visa fees? If these are your children who are coming home, do you pay visa fee to your parent when you go into their house? So why is, I feel like the reason why majority of them are struggling is you as presidents, you are telling us, come back home. Yes, you have your roots here. This is your home. Come back to the motherland.
But I agree to a certain extent. Because I'm in this industry, trust me, you don't want every Black American coming into your country. Okay? So there has to be a filter. There has to be a filter. And what is going to put a filter is price points.
Is that fair though?
I absolutely believe it's
Do you
fair.
decide which children should come back home?
I absolutely do.
Absolutely.
You want all the riffraff coming into your country?
No, I don't want. It's how it's been marketed. This is you. This is the motherland.
But this is also marketed to those who are at a certain level.
So what are we saying? Is the motherland beneficial to those who have the financial capacity for it? What if, walk with me, you are in California, wherever you are, you deeply know your roots are in Africa. You want to come back to the motherland. Here you want to come back to Kenya, Tanzania, Ghana. Choose one of the African countries, but you don't have the finances for it. What happens to you?
This is something that you have to prepare for. Relocation is a luxury.
Oof. There you go.
That's the bottom line. Relocation is a luxury. I tell all my clients that. There are some people that are not going to be able to come to the motherland. And again, I believe in filters. Not everybody is kinfolks. And we don't want the riffraff coming and destroying what we're trying to build with our Kenyan counterparts. And that's just the harsh truth.
Relocation is a luxury.
Relocation is a luxury.
Prepare.
It's relocated to another country that happened to be an African country is not something you just jump up and do. You can't. You have to prepare for it. You have to have some type of sustainability, especially living here in Nairobi, right? And then again, it's a mindset. You're going from a capitalist mindset in a debt-driven country to a non-debt-driven country. There's a mindset change that you have to have because you're going to have cash. You're going to have, because everything here revolves around having what you can afford. If you can't afford it, you don't have it. It doesn't work that way in the States.
Yeah.
And so again, not everybody's going to be able to relocate or come home to the motherland. Okay. It's just a reality.
I love that we are touching on the preparation. I think you brought it closer home. Could you walk us?
So I couldn't agree more with everything that was discussed. And shout out to the podcast. I think it's LNN. I think it's out of Nairobi. Shout out to my Kenyans. But if you've watched one of my earlier videos about, I emphasize the need for Africans to be careful with the year of return and the people that Africa is admitting into the country from America, African Americans, of course. And I kind of highlighted some of these things. I wasn't so harsh as to call them riffraffs, which the lady talks about, but I think she's absolutely right. It's important for Africa to have a filtration system, not just qualification of visas and things like that. You don't want to allow everybody into your country. I mean, these are not kids. These are grown adults who have ideologies, who have a past, who have developed a certain kind of lifestyle, who have a certain kind of culture that they have. And again, who have a superiority ideology in their head of what Africa is. And if you listen to the podcast, you'll find out that the lady mentioned that some African Americans come into Africa as a savior. So there's this savior mentality because they've looked so down on the continent for so long because of, living in America, that when they come, they see Africans as living in huts and trees and things like that. So there's this superiority complex ideology that some of them may have. And when they come into the continent, it's not going to drive because Africans are very prideful people, especially of culture and tribe and all those kind of things. So it's important that you filter the people that come into the country. Like she said, you don't want riffraffs coming into the country. You don't want people who have criminal records, who are pedophiles, who do different kind of things, who might, have criminal records, who have done outrageous things in their past. I mean, we want to check criminal records. You want to do all those kind of things to make sure that people who are coming, especially those who are coming, relocating or whatever, are people of good character and people who are, who are coming and don't have like a crazy past. So I think it's a great conversation they had, and I know that the lady, the host of the podcast, is not ignorant of this fact. Even I think she's just asking these questions as a way to see what the other lady, the African American lady, will say, because talking about the fact that even though people who are in charge of the migration and stuff are saying, oh, just come, then there are being visa fees and all those other kinds of fees. I think those things are pertinent, because you don't want to the visa and immigration process has to be maintained through money. So even though they are charging visa fees and things, doesn't mean that it's an obstacle for people who want to come. Those are just administration fees and things that have to happen to maintain to oil the engine of migration. So I think it's not a bad thing, and I don't think it's a red tape or obstacle to ask for visa fees and things like that. But all in all, I think it was a great conversation between them. And I think it's very eye-opening to hear it from the other end, from an African American, because I mentioned it, and some people were like, the comments were like back and forth. Oh, there's this, but I think the African countries need to be careful of who they admit into, African Americans that they admit into their country during this time of, come back home kind of thing, right? So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is Food Chest. If you haven't done so already, kindly subscribe to the channel, all right?